Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Thursday. It's Daryl here. It's 4 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. You guys must be able to read me by now because you know I have a hard time saying happy Thursday or happy Tuesday when I talk about these videos. When I make a video before 4 a.m., you can bet that I got something that I need to get out. Daniel Prude. Since yesterday afternoon, I've been reading the 325 pages of emails, interdepartmental communications, body cam footage, and whatnot, that they were forced to release on Monday, September 14th, finally, months after his death. 6 months? March, April, May, June, July, August, September. 7 months after his death. And it's obvious why, because it says inside these pages, it's why. They say right there that they did not want to release this because it would look like, it would make people think that it was like other instances across the nation where black men suffered fatal interactions with law enforcement. And I say it like that because I have to with this video, because believe me, I'd like to put it a lot more bluntly than that. And it says this in these 325 pages, that they recommend it. We don't want people to think it's one of those instances. So we're going to hold this stuff back. And that's not even the most troubling thing. The most troubling thing out of all this stuff that came out Monday, there's an actual police report where it names the victim, Daniel Prude. And it's scratched out. It's covered over the word victim, and it says, make him a suspect. Make him a suspect. Make him guilty. Let's talk about what we saw in the video. As you guys know, I had 22 years of drug addiction. I took these substances that was found in his system. I know about these things. And it looks like he was under the influence. It looks to me, too, from reading everything about Daniel Prude, that he also had mental health issues. All right, so he's sitting bare bottom, buck naked, on the pavement. In late March, it's below freezing because it's snowing. It's the middle of the night. I have to think these temperatures are at least 30 degrees or lower. He's sitting bare bottomed on the pavement. All right, hands cuffed behind his back. All right, we see an officer creep up behind him quickly and put the hood over his head and slip it down around his neck and then quickly move back. Daniel Prude said that he has coronavirus and they were afraid he was going to spit on him. Now, unless Daniel Prude was also possessed by demons and in need of an exorcist, I don't really see how it would be possible for that officer to be so worried about this. I don't see how Daniel Prude could spin his neck around 180 degrees and spit on the officer. I don't see why this officer was so frightened of a naked man sitting bare-bottomed on the pavement, handcuffed, facing away from him, that he had to creep up and quickly put the hood over him. That right there makes me lose respect, lose confidence in all police. All right, so at that point, he's bare bottom, middle of the road, below 30 degrees, handcuffs behind his back, can't have no weapons because he has no clothes to hide them in. Hood over his head, facing away from the officers, but somehow, for some reason, he's still very dangerous, and they need to flip him onto his stomach, again, on the below 30 degrees, freezing cold pavement, totally no clothes, face down on the pavement, a male face down on freezing cold pavement, and press his head into the roadway until he loses consciousness and 7 days later succumbs. This story, and in these pages that have just come out, they knew, and they knew I don't even want to call it messed up. They took his life. They just took his life. Why? I don't even know. As you guys have seen my last videos, whenever I see somebody being hurt, anyone being hurt, I put myself in their position. It doesn't matter if they're Chinese, Japanese, black, white, red. I think if that was me, if that was my mother, my father, my sister, my brother, my friend, I don't know if other people are lacking empathy or what, but whenever I see this, it could be me. It could be somebody I love. I had 22 years of drug addiction. The hardest of hard, the substances that Daniel Prude took. And let me tell you guys, it was no party. Every night before I fell asleep, I swear on the Bible, I prayed to die in my sleep every night because I did not want to get up and do it all again the next day. Find the money, find the substances, find the person that had the substances. Let me tell you what it was like. It was a full physical addiction. It was like a biological need, like having to go to the bathroom, having to eat or sleep. Every night I would tell myself, I am not doing it. I don't care if I have to chain myself to the house, to the radiator. I'm not doing it tomorrow. And the next day would come, and I would do the same thing. And this is where you start to lose hope. And you feel so out of control that you can't control yourself. And this is where you seriously start contemplating ending everything. It's no party. I think a lot of people still, when I talk about drug addiction and it being a disease, even now, after 14 years of sobriety, I almost feel guilty saying that. And I don't know why, calling it a disease. I don't even know why I feel guilty, because it is. My brain is different. Why, I don't know. How it got that way, we could, but it is. It's no party. I know there's going to be people who say, well, he was partying, and the color of his skin, hey, he made some bad choices and that's what happened. No. When I see him, I see me. I see my brother, my mother, my sister. And there was no reason for this. There was no reason for this. So this is what came out Monday, and make him a suspect. It's crossed out in these reports that came out Monday. List Daniel Prude as a victim, and that is covered over. The word victim is scratched out, and it's written in handwriting. Make him a suspect. Just came out Monday. Make him guilty. Make it look like we had a reason to take his life. These are their own words back and forth, and they knew what they did, because they said they knew what people would, how they'd look at it. In other words, they'd see it for what it is. Again, I'm not calling for the total defunding of the police or any of that crap, man. Of course, law enforcement is necessary. The enforcement of laws, because as we see, take masks for instance. It's just been in Connecticut now. There's I believe it's a $100 fine for not wearing a mask. There's some people, through their childish beliefs or selfishness or whatever, feel the need to speed, do 90 miles an hour on the highway, not wear a mask. And we need law enforcement for these people, because a lot of them also have the right to bear arms and all that. So that we need law enforcement, but we also need competent people to deal with this was a healthcare emergency. In my eyes, this wasn't a criminal. This wasn't a suspect. This was a healthcare emergency. This man was suffering a healthcare crisis. I was in and out of hospitals 13, 14 times for detoxes alone. And it was a combination. It's called dual diagnosis: mental health issues and substance abuse. That's what this was. It wasn't a scene of a crime until the police got there. All right, I'll be back with more videos. I got a lot to talk about today. You guys have a good Thursday.